Kelly.
How are you, Ravi?
Good.
I have
How
a
are
few
you?
questions.
How are you?
Good, but I have a few questions that is in my mind there. When I try to do my practice every day, I have some few questions to ask you.
Please.
The first thing is why we did this when we start. What is really important when I start my practice and when I finish to do the OMs?
See, we are in this existence and we live in a world here, right? And there is so much going on. Just to bring ourselves within, we say this Om. We can call it mantra, but mantra is just a word, right? So, but Om is not a word. It's not just a. We can't even fit that Om into a mantra, right? When we say Om, it's a basic sound of the existence itself, right? Ah, O, Ma, right? So this Om can be uttered even by a mute person who cannot talk. And Ah is uttered by animals also. Is uttered by other living beings. So this Ah is a sound of the existence. And then we are nothing but existence in this. So when we say Om, we are basically invoking our existence. That's our real nature. We are invoking ourselves. When I say Om, I'm invoking the divinity that I am from within. And that's why this Om is said, in many places before they starts any satsang or spiritual discourse. They just utter this, and then they also say a few mantra, but we don't say any mantra. But Om is definitely will put us in a state where this spiritual or the satsang becomes so truthful, and that's why we utter this mantra.
Tell me, what is spirituality? I used to say to people that India is a spiritual country, and we talk a lot about this spirituality, but what does it really mean?
First of all, we must know what is not spirituality. Right? Spirituality is not going to temple. Spirituality is not going to church, a mosque, or breaking 108 coconuts in a temple. These are not spirituality. What we call ourselves, we are spirits, right? We are spirit. That's what we are called. The human being is called a spirit. To know about this one, this human, who he really is, spirituality exists. So when someone turns inward, when someone wants to know what is this, want to understand what is this, right? What am I doing here, right? And that's when spirituality begins for him. Not when someone is going to temple, this is good. It could be a long journey coming back like this, right? But then the real spirituality happens when someone turns inward and sit in silence and then trying to understand what this really is, and that is spirituality. Spirit trying to know the spirit is spirituality. Nothing else.
And what about the religions? Because this is something that also sometimes it's like come in pack, Sometimes it looks like it's the same.
Religion is really useful to the humanity because otherwise the most of the humanity would have gone crazy, and then without any help, they would have taken various measures in their life. Many would have died, killed themselves, because mind is going crazy, they don't know what to do. And that's when they go to these temples and religions of various nature, and then there are useful guidance in each religion. What they believe, there are useful guidance, and then they follow it, and they are okay to some extent, right? Because not everyone can afford a psychiatric doctor, right? So this is somehow I'm not saying religion is trying to fix all the crazy people. Definitely there are useful guidance and instructions. If one uses the right way, right, they will grow in their spiritual path, and they will know who they are, right? So that way religion is definitely useful, but if you use it in the right way. The religions, nowadays religions, they are very strong. They are trying to preach, and they are trying to say many things which people don't like it. Maybe that's a fact, but then the true religion really helps if one is using it in the right way.
Yeah, but you says using in the right way to really use something about this to realize or to go between, no? You say something like this when you use, and the path in the religious, you have it, because you have this like follow. You need to follow things, I don't know. You need to do the puja every day. You need to pray in some way or whatever. But what is the real path to go between us,
Within you?
Yeah. Like this, to really understand who I am, how I can reach this, how I can go.
So, see, every human is different. What works for one will not work for you. What works for you, it may not work for another. So that's why you see there are various scriptures, various teachings, teachers, various methods, right? Whatever fits you, your mindset, your conditioning, your expectation, you will pick that, and then that will work for you, right? But all of these procedures, all of these teachings, all of these scriptures, right? All it says one thing: you must go within you, right? So, say for example, yogasanas, kriya yoga. There are many yogic techniques, right? All are there only to make you turn inward. You must sit in silence and also do self-inquiry in the beginning. Who am I? What is the self? What is going on here? I am born, I lived for some time, and I'm going to die. Why? Right? And then actually the sun is not rising. We are actually rotating. We are sitting on a rotating earth, and we are rising and we are falling. But we say sun is rising, sun is setting, which is already, it is not true.